Oh, perfect. Last run. We got our helm. Okay, so one last item that we need to craft. I needed this. It's crafting time, guys. We have a bunch of bounty mats. I say I'm willing to use like maybe 1500 or so on the Witch Doctor. That's 300 reforges. And we've been farming on this now for like 15 hours. So it's still relatively fresh, but we had a bunch of help. We had a bunch of other viewers joining as Witch Doctors and loot sharing and stuff. That was really good. So thank you to everyone. And we're actually in a pretty good spot, so that's what we have now. I've been fine with this build here. This is a Jade onto Halter, 2-piece. Just running through the 16. And some Echo Nightmares. So yeah, we have almost everything in pretty good condition. The gloves here are pretty bad for Hull Tooth and stuff, but I don't care too much about this. What we really care about is Mundunugu. I want to do 150. And we mostly need better gloves. Because we want one with cooldown most likely, but this is only 40 crit damage, it's a bit yikes. The boots need to be improved. And mostly offhand. So this here, Gazing Demise, is our main target, I guess. Because this is not good enough. We're gonna mostly sanctify the weapons for most of the builds. So Dagger of Darts, for example, and stuff like that. For Italy, Zuni, etc. We have a bunch of dummy items here that we can use. So we're mostly gonna start with Lakumba. We need to craft an ancient version of this because it's like used on every single build mostly. I didn't find a single ancient Lakumba the entire time. Not even talking about good rolls. We need the Gazing Demises. We don't need those anymore because we actually got one. Shukrani is used on at least LOD darts. I guess not on Zuni because of the offhand for Zuni. And we have this here, which is, it has mana regen, which is useless, but it's otherwise kind of acceptable. Okay, this we want to reforge a little bit. Oh yeah, Ring of Emptiness, very important. We need a Ring of Emptiness or two. So we got this here, this is our best one so far. We basically want the same one, just in better. So 5 cooldown is very sad, the crit rolls are very sad. 39 CC reduction is actually very nice. So I'm quite tempted to just use it, but we're gonna try a bit of reforging on Ring of Emptiness at least. Okay, I think we're gonna start with Lakumba, because we need this on like every single build. So let's go with this. This should also be one of the easiest pieces to get. I think it always comes with crit. Maybe we're gonna save like a really good non-ancient, in case our ancient is like cold, pre-rolled. We roll something else. Not a fan, necessarily. I mean, the affix roll is pretty much irrelevant, luckily. But you want as high as possible crit. You also want vitality on this thing, so... Not sure if the all rest is really acceptable. Put this here. I want to see like 1 or 2 more ancients maybe. I mean, in the end it's a bit of toughness that we lose, which is probably kind of acceptable. But considering we use this on like 6 different builds. There's no build that doesn't run Lakumba, right? These days. Aside from like the Omega Squish Zuni version, which I'm not gonna play. Oof. I think likes to roll Ancient here. This is a life per hit one. I mean, this will be useful on, at the very least, zombie bears, I guess. I don't really like it too much, but I guess you're gonna run with this and we're gonna roll off the all-res. Keep this for zombie bears. Maybe see more later. Where did we start, by the way? Like 2,500 something. It was like almost 200 mats, yeah. I think next important is our Gazing Demise. This one really needs to be good, because we didn't get a good boost juicer. And reforging boost juicer will also be very difficult. So I think we're gonna try to hit like a good ancient Gazing Demise and then sanctify the weapon. I would be fine with having one user stat on this, like the mana regen is always pre-rolled. And unfortunately absolutely useless. But yeah, it's very hard to roll a good Demise. Even with sanctifying it will be very hard. It stresses you out. Well, it doesn't stress me out because I know I'm never gonna farm bounties in my life again. So it's all good. I'm not sure if I should actually potentially keep a non-ancient one. Maybe if I get a really good non-ancient, it might be worth keeping. If I get like 150, something where I can roll off the mana, or like life % or so, on cooldown. I might keep it, just in case. Because this one can be very costly. Not even seeing any ancients here. But I want to stop at like around 1k mats left if I can, because I want to preserve some for the bard. Oh man, this affix range is so large. 100 to 150, man. I want to hit like at least 145 or so, I'd say. So basically 1 in 10 is straight up useless, and then another 1 in 10. 1 in 10 is like useful, and then another 1 in 10 again for ancient. And then it also rolls stats, I mean. Yeah. Pretty bad primal, but it's something. There's nothing GG about this one. But we're gonna try a bit more. At least I have something. Definitely better than any non-ancient we could make. Ooh. Almost. Yeah, if the affix was better, I would probably use this over the primal. I mean, here we have a socket, which is not exactly great. So you basically lose like 160 paragons or something. If you consider the socket equal to like a vitality roll, just worse. Then we also have mana regen on it, which you can't get rid of. So this should be cooldown. And then the Wall of Death is going to be Spirit Barrage. So here we could, for example, roll a sacrifice with Spirit Barrage, and at least would have elite damage that's useful. To some degree. But it's not good enough. That's a really bad offense. It has 2 useless stats, basically. The socket is like 1/3 of a stat, I guess. And then 1 useless. But yeah, I'm kind of expecting to have mana regen on my offhand anyway. I think more importantly might be to actually try to get a Ring of Emptiness. I also need to investigate if I need any Traveler's Pledges. Do we have a Poison Travelers? Kinda doubt it. I mean, did play some Necro though. We should play a lot of Necro. Maybe have one. Yeah, I mean, this would have been a fine Gazing Demise if, like, the socket was some Vitality roll or so. A reroll offense. Web main hands. Well, it's the same problem, I mean... It might be easier to get the weapon, but on the other hand, you need to roll the damage range, you need to roll the extra affix for Spirit Barrage. You have to roll like the attack speed, the damage, the cooldown. Like I'm probably just gonna go for like a trifecta weapon with Sanctify and that's it. Like the thing is, even with Sanctify, this is gonna be so hard to roll. I might just run out of Sanctify. Like, probably just don't. I have 120 Crucibles, it's not that much. If I want to roll an offhand that is like actually good. And like, you know, with the right affix and stuff. We're gonna try something randomness. Close. Well, we don't really care about an ancient version of this thing. Because LOD doesn't use it, it's gonna be darts. The non-ancient is totally fine. Might be worth saving. If that was ancient, I'll probably stick to it. Like this thing with an augment would be kind of acceptable. Yeah, same issue here, you have like a huge affix range, I think it's 250 to 300. And you want like, I don't know, 296 plus I'd say. So again, like 1 in 10 is useless, 1 in 10 is useful. So at least we don't have the ancient requirement. Some to do it actually would be very nice too. So I might quite likely just end up using the ring I already have. Attack speed, cooldown, crit, Innoventinous, 296. I'm not sure about this. I don't think so. $69. You guys enjoy the Gamba? Roll the same value again. Might try more Lakumbas, to be honest. Maybe there's more to be gained on Lakumbas. Thinking Fantinus is not happening. First, let's get the boots. We want int, vitality, armor, skill damage. Best case, also secondaries. I guess an aura's roll would be okay. I've been getting boots for quite a while and just couldn't get them. The ancients? And before it rolls ancient and it has like 11 spirit barrage pre-rolled, I'm gonna erase that. My helm is already at 12, I don't really want to give up more. Even with the boost juicer giving quite a lot. Just can't get any ancient, man, look at this. One in 10 I've been told. All fake news. Okay, they're good. At least the one ancient turned out useful. That's nice. Can drop this. Here's one more. Let's try a few more Lakumba rolls. One disclaimer, this is not my internet. This is why we're lagging so much. There's a lot of other people using the same internet. We're like 1200 mats down now. Getting close. Oh, 5. That is very inconvenient now. Thanks, Cosmic. You're the hero we needed. Man, I don't like any of these. Oof. Find another ancient. I thought you just have like few frames, but you should still be able to see them, no? When they come through? Or is it like also pixelated? Kind of funny how my game barely suffers on the lags. It's just the stream for some reason. It's always like that, I don't know why. Oh my god, it gets worse. 4.5 crit now. Oof. Yeah, I think just go with this Lakumba after all. What can I do? No secondary, no vitality. Yikes. Right, anything else? Could do another 250 mats on something. Maybe I do the more scathing demises. That's very unlikely to improve. I mean, we could try some loose juicers. And maybe just sanctify the offender. Maybe get like Omega Lucky. That kind of seems unlikely. Ancient and 45 Spirit Barrage, wonderful. This is what you see. Oh no. Nice. Wait, why is it like so laggy? Like so bad quality? Like, I figured that it just like, you know, kind of like stops and not sends all the frames, but they're still like as they should be, but apparently not. 120 crucibles. I'm probably not gonna improve this thing. I'm gonna try a few more rolls anyway. Yeah, that's what I mean here. We need way better damage. We need way more Spirit Barrage. The cooldown is okay. Mana region has to be rolled off. And then we're stuck with Int anyway. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna try this morning. We just have to stick with this offhand. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop the reforging session here. This was like 1300 materials or something. Close to it. I think we're just gonna go with what we have here. And hope it's good enough for 150 Mundunigur, and everything else is like hopefully also good enough for like some rank ones.